How's it going, everybody? Welcome on back to another episode here on the channel. Hopefully everybody had a good holiday, had a good New Year's. I took about a week and a half off from doing any kind of content production or content uploads just because of the holiday, and I wanted to just kind of chillax and do some other things around the holiday time. But we are back. We're talking Ashes of Creation Phase 2. We are almost at the end of the full launch cycle of the servers being up 24/7 pretty much. So from December 20th, January 6th, Intrepid decided to leave the services up 24/7 with minor downtime. We are left with a lot of data, a lot of different opinions, some drama, people stepping away from the game, people coming to the game, and all sorts of things in between, exploiters, bugs. Let's get into it. So what is happening in the world of Ashes of Creation during its Phase 2 launch? Well, Phase 2 launched on December 20th, and like I said, the services have been up pretty much 24/7. Intrepid was off for the holidays, so they left a skeleton crew. However, they were still doing emergency patches and bringing the servers down for restarts and things like that. And I must say that things have been going pretty well, I think, in Phase 2. I won't spend too much time on the drama or, some of the things that we are yet to see happen due to some of the things that were happening during this, December 20th to January 6th time period. What I will say is there were a ton of exploiters that were found. People were exploiting XP, standing in events that they were AFK but gaining experience. I think I heard that there was a duping bug. People were exploiting freeholds. All sorts of different types of exploits were happening, and it's sad to see that people are doing that in an alpha. It's sad that people do that just in general in launched games, but it is what it is at that point. I think arguably one of the things that a lot of people have been talking about or not talking about, depending on how you feel about this particular person, was we had a pretty substantial content creator for Ashes of Creation step away from the game entirely. They've changed how their channel, their content, all of their social media stuff, everything is completely changed. They're going in a completely different direction and distancing themselves from Ashes of Creation just because of, whatever reasons that they've had. If you know who I'm talking about, I wish that person all the best as far as, their career and what they're going to do. And hopefully they find time to maybe come back to Ashes because they did serve the community well. And I do think that their opinions and their voice and the community that they drew with them was an important part of Ashes of Creation. So I hope that eventually there is some time for Ashes of Creation for them. Outside of that, guys, I have been enjoying Phase 2. It does seem that I've learned a lot because Phase 2 seems to be going a lot quicker for me when it comes to progressing levels, both on my character, on my artisanship, on different things. I took a lot of stuff that we learned in Phase 1 and applied it to Phase 2. I am, at the time of filming, almost level 25. I am lacking some gear, so I've been farming gear versus XP for the last couple of days that I've been in-game. As you can see, I did explore the Befallen Forge. That's what I'm showing you guys on stream right now, with a party that we were together in there and just kind of exploring, grinding mobs as we saw fit. We weren't really all 24, 25 level, so it's good to see that a well-oiled machine type party can go in there earlier than what a lot of people are anticipating a party can go in there for. That was also one of the biggest content updates in Phase 2 was the Befallen Forge dungeon. It is a dwarven dungeon with a bunch of different fire elementals and different type of dwarf NPCs that you can fight. I think that's a real cool addition is those NPCs. They're different than what we've seen. Some of them are like mages, some of them are clerics, but they're not using your typical like fire starter or pyromancer type spells. They're actually casting different spells. Like, I got hit with ball lightning from one of them the other day. So it's pretty cool to see a different mob type to kind of learn and to understand those mechanics a little bit. So it was cool to see that in this dungeon. Namely, one of the biggest things I think that is falling short in Phase 2 was the introduction of the nodes in the desert and in the tropics. I did a desert caravan the other night, and the desert seems very barren. There's mobs throughout the desert, but it just seems like they were placed in there as filler for the lack of biome diversity or lack of biome assets. The desert is basically just sand dunes and rocks. And there are times where you can come up on some trees and things like that. But overall, the desert, and I have not gone to the tropics yet, but the desert was supposed to take priority. I understand, the teams have been off or, haven't been working on the assets that much. But, for a Phase 2 type event or content update, that was something that I believe wasn't on the stretch goals that Steven said were going to be there. So I am a little bit disappointed that the at least the desert seems very placeholder-ish still. Outside of that, we do have other things that are scheduled to come in Phase 2. The most notable thing is the advancement of nodes to Stage 4 and the ability for node sieges to happen. And if you have been following Steven's Twitch account, he has been streaming the last 2 days. And, he likes to have a good conversation with the community and likes to show us stuff. And he was saying, somebody asked him a question outside of the rogue coming in Phase 2. What are you most excited for that is coming? And Steven said that node sieges were on the top of his list as far as the thing he's looking most forward to in Phase 2 right now that is coming. So that was good to see. It was also funny to see Steven troll a bunch of people. He spawned Firebrand on a bunch of people. He spawned Giants on a bunch of people. And while it is funny to watch and to see, I do understand that there is some frustration in the community when that happens to you. You might be AFK fishing or just fishing in general, and a raid boss lands on top of your head and wipes you, and all of your 30 minutes or hour or however long you were working on fishing, all of that is gone, right? So I do understand that. But it is, funny to kind of see that. Hopefully Steven takes a little bit easier of an approach on folks. He did spawn Firebrand a second time on a different group, and I think that group ultimately wound up being able to kill him a little bit and whatnot, and then that's when he spawned the Giants. For us as a guild and us as an alliance, like I said, we've been progressing levels both in adventuring and artisanship. I think a lot of people have advanced in levels further than they did on their characters than they did in Phase 1. There are a lot of artisanship professions that are getting done rather quickly. We have a structure this time. We're starting to explore that and understanding what we truly need as a guild, as an alliance. And overall, I think the experience is good for right now. I will say that I have, slowed my leveling. I've slowed my content just to allow a few other people to catch up in the guild or the alliance, so that way we can start doing stuff together more. I have been partying almost solely with random parties or one or two guild or alliance members in a party. Other than that, it's been pretty random. Caravans seem to still be on a shorter end pay scale than they were in phase one, which is okay to see. Further testing on that to be made to come up with a solid, concrete opinion on the matter. But I am, again, cautiously optimistic on phase two as we're progressing forward. January 6th is approaching us here soon. So the servers are going to come down, and there are going to be some, I'm sure, major patches and fixes and things like that occur. I know Steven has also said that there are going to be very severe and heavy ban hammers falling from the sky on a few folks. Exploiters, if you're out there, sorry, not sorry. You kind of made your bed, now lie in it. And that's all I got to say on that topic. We are going to get a patch, I think, for the Crocs. So rip the Croc market. If you're buying or selling Croc mounts, hang on till after the 6th, 7th, or 8th once the new patch hits. Because those mounts are getting nerfed. I will end it here. This video is long enough right now. And I will see you guys on the next one. We are still going to be covering Ashes of Creation. The content should be coming now more frequently, again, at a normal cadence. So if you do consider subscribe to the channel, if you did like the content, go ahead and give it a like, leave a comment, and check us out as we upload further information on Ashes of Creation. We'll see ya on the next one.